Honestly, hold on. Should I do that? Actually, today, should I leave that in the video? That should be the weed. Like, whoa. Please. Please, chill. Okay. Today, I thought it would be cool to kind of share some pet peeves of mine. Because, I don't know, I was able to think of some, and, you know, it's good for content's sake. And then maybe like relatability, like if anybody has similar pet peeves. Or just kind of know where I'm coming from when some of these things kind of happen on a day-to-day basis, or maybe like randomly. So this is just things I noticed in life that just kind of like piss me off a little bit, tiny bit, but not really literally. Like, I'm not an angry person, and I don't like literally hate this stuff. Like, it's okay, everybody's allowed to have their opinion. Like, everybody, like literally, we can agree to disagree if some of these are just like not your cup of tea. But anyway, I have about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have like 9 pet peeves, I think, right here. So I'm gonna try to like go through them, because I don't want my channel to only be like I said before, reactions are just always talking about some serious stuff, or like always joking. So I just thought this would be cool to throw in there. Why not, right? So the first one that I wanted to talk about, a pet peeve of mine, is when, and like, please forgive me if you do this, because I feel like, as somebody whose first language is English, I'm not making fun of how anybody pronounces words if they have like an accent, or like they're learning English, right? Amen. Or just, maybe they just come from like a region where this is more prevalent. But when, like, let's say like old heads, or like like certain people will be reading out like calendar days or days of the week, and they go last Tuesday instead of like Tuesday, or like they'll be like Wednesday or Friday, and I just be like, can you spell? Because I don't know. And then on top of that, just another thing I noticed is like British people. I'm so shook that the English language started like in the UK, right? Apparently. And they just pronounce stuff so weird. Like, I know Americans kind of like drag and stress things differently, but it's just like, why are they pronouncing like hard? Like, why does America, who is like basically thing 2 compared to UK, apparently, why are they pronouncing words halfway? But they're the ones that made up the language, and then they kind of go, that's far instead of far, or like min mama's car. It's like, well, I mean, you know, maybe they don't like the hard R thing that America be on. I'm just saying. Another one that I have here in my little notebook. It's like, in my notebook. Loud ass phone conversations in public. Like, ninja. If you don't get some of these, and then like keep the volume radius like here. Now I know, so some people, like me for example, sometimes I be so excited and passionate to speak. When I get to speak, I really go a little hard and like blunt when I'm speaking. So like I try not to like keep it low if I really got something to say. But I know how to, like, you know what I'm saying, keep a conversation inside, you know what I'm saying? I do know how to do that. It just depends on the situation, what's going on, where I'm at. But I know some people, if they're on like the bus or they're in a like space with a bunch of people, like a restaurant or like a fast food restaurant or something, or just anywhere, like if they're in the store or something. Gee, they're on the phone like,
wait, okay. Hold on, chill out.
I know.
I know.
Exactly. That's what I told man. I said, bro, you are tripping, bro. Like, volume at like 89. They'd be like, really? It'd be feeling like it's a three-way call instead of like whoever they're talking to. They'd be like, making sure everybody can hear what they're saying. And sometimes the conversation should be just something they really shouldn't really be saying out loud. Like, it just be stuff like, I swallowed the whole honey pack and shit like that. And they'd be like, I was just smashing cheeks, like big cheeks and shit. Like, it'd be like, dang, does everybody need to know about last night, sir? Does everybody need to know? That they could definitely keep through email or texting. Another one is race versus nationality. Like when people don't know the difference, or like maybe they grew up thinking a certain way, or like they just haven't seen too much of the world that much, right? So like, for example, I am black, clearly, right? Clearly, like my skin color, like I'm phenotypically black, but I have like a Latina last name, so I usually identify as black, right? But really, honestly, like I think I would be considered Afro-Latina. So like that's that adjective, Afro would be considered black, which is describing your race. And I notice sometimes if you're filling things out online or on paper, there's a section that's ethnicity versus like race. So it's like they always have the Hispanic part or Latino part separate from race. And now I'm trying to sit here and read what race really is, considering how it's defined. And I'm seeing it's apparently having to do with your physical traits or like what could be seen a little bit. And then ethnicity is more kind of like how people kind of use race, or what people used to describe race with. For example, black people, not every black person you meet is going to be pitch black or Vanta black, right? Or dark or light or brown. A lot of black people are pretty much brown, right? So I don't understand how race could just be how someone really looks, because then you would just be prejudging someone based off their phenotype, because a lot of people look black and they're not just, culturally black. And a lot of people look white and they're not just culturally white, or like, etc., etc. So I see sometimes those terms can be interchangeable, and it's just kind of pointless because I'm seeing in the race box that Asian, for example, is considered a race. But not every Asian is phenotypically or typically what you would see like in a Mulan movie. Like some of them are brown or dark, like Indians, they're South Asian. Or like, what would you call their race? Because ethnicity is giving nationality a little bit. So would you say an Asian person's race is yellow? Because we don't call black people African per se, like we do for the most part, like African American, but why is race black or white and then Asian and then something else and something else and something else? It's not making sense why some of them are colors and then the others are giving continental. You know what I mean? It's just so weird, and that shit is so unnecessary to me in this day and age. But like, if you break it down, it just don't make sense no more. Right? I don't know why I always notice that, but I guess that's just a thing. So it'll ask you before your race sometimes, do you consider yourself Latino or Hispanic? And Hispanic obviously would lean more towards somebody that can speak Spanish or has like a Hispanic culture. So I usually tend to say no unless like, I feel like I could just say that day I'm leaning towards like Afro-Latina or something, because I don't speak Spanish for real. And I have more of a Caribbean background, right? So I just noticed, for example, those are separate. So you could say, yeah, I have a Latino origin, or like somebody down the line was like that, but I'm black, or somebody else could say they're white, or somebody else could say whatever they are. So I'm saying right now, when someone doesn't know the difference between race or nationality, nationality is really where you're from. Like American, those are people that were born in America or raised in America for the majority of their life. So it could be considered American. They could be white and American. They could be black and American. They're a white American, a black American, an Asian American, so and so, right? Latin American. Dude, I grew up in like an area where, let's say when I was really young, there was a lot of regular African Americans, like black people that don't want to say they're black, but they rather say African American. Or people from literally Africa, or their families really like African and they're like a first generation black American, not, you know what I'm saying? They're not really like, I don't know how to say, there's a difference between like African American and like somebody's black American. Some people's black culture is different from African culture, okay? It doesn't mean they don't derive from Africa. It's just their people's culture and like, you know, lifestyles be just what it is. So I would consider myself black or like Caribbean, because my background was like Caribbean. Or like my family, really like the islands and stuff. I would say, right, I'm black, or like Afro-Latina. Some people, they have parents that are like, let's say one parent is like Hispanic or Latino, and they're phenotypically looking like an average like Hispanic person. For example, like Selena, or what you would expect somebody to look like, or who else? Ricky Martin. People like that, they look like, and basically you wouldn't second guess. And then they have another parent that's like maybe black or white, or just not giving like, you know, salsa. Okay, let's just say the Latin parent is from Puerto Rico, or like not even Hispanic. Like if somebody's non-black parent or non-white parent is from somewhere like foreign AF, like just some country. It really grinds my gears to hear somebody say, I'm black and Dominican, or I'm black and Chinese. Like China is a race or something, or like Dominican is a race, and it's like a nationality, because saying that you're Dominican or Chinese is implying that you are like from China or the Dominican Republic. Not so much a race, like you're not, right? Your race is not Chinese if you're Chinese, it's Asian. And then your race is not Dominican if you're black. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. Anyway, just because I'm such an over-analytical, technical person, I should be grinding my gears when I see somebody use the adjective or the race versus the nationality wrong. Like, it just be feeling like you are a black Dominican, or a white Chinese person, or like you're like a white Mexican or a black Mexican. You're not black and Mexican, or like you're not black and Chinese, for real. You know what I'm saying? You would say you're a black Chinese person, or like whatever the case is, right? But that's just me being like picky. I really don't give an F. Like if I see that or if somebody says that, that's just the way they know how to describe themselves for the most part. And most people don't care about all that extra little nationality versus race stuff. Like they're not that far along in broadness or like knowing the world or understanding the world, like how some people might give an F. Like I'm not going to call them stupid because they describe themselves that way if they're black and this, but they really should say they're so and so, because really most people understand at a phenotypical level anyway, or a 3D level. So like if somebody's like I said, Mexican, it doesn't mean that they're automatically white or like phenotypically looking like that or blah 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 blah. Anyway, another pet peeve of mine is when you are trying to show somebody something on your phone and like you are pretty much in their face with it and they're acting like they have to hold something with their hands to use their eyes. Like for the hey yo, bro, this funny ass video I'm trying to show you, bro. Look. They talking about what? I can't see. And you try to hold on to your phone. And you're like, why the f you need to hold my phone if it's right here. They talk about like what? My mom used to tell me that in the store, like you can look with your eyes and not your hands. You know, some people would love to just touch something to really like to see it. I used to be like that. Like if I want to see something in the store, I'm touching it like, oh, picking it up and looking instead of just like looking with your hands. And you know, she used to really say that because if you touch stuff in the store as a black person, people gonna low-key follow you or watch you to see if you're stealing more times than not. Now, not literally everywhere or every time you go into a store, but that's just reality sometimes. So, sometimes. Another pet peeve is when people call natural hair or like wearing like protective styles without extensions childish. Like for example, I have a couple pictures of hairstyles that I like to do sometimes as a protective style, or to stretch my hair, or to not give an F, or to just like my hair the way it is, right? There's people that really think that your hair or you are childish if it's just not like extra like long or done, or honestly if it's just not a wig, or if it's not like weave or and stuff like that. Like my mom, I noticed when I was younger, I used to want my hair done certain ways because all the other kids were getting like more grown hairstyles or like letting their hair down and stuff. And she wanted me to kind of stay a kid, so she would do my hair in pigtails. Obviously, as a kid, that's just normal, right? Or really, there is no such thing as a childish hairstyle for real, because if you're grown, you're grown. Or if you know what I'm saying, it's not gonna really determine anything. Like even down to like dudes painting their nails, like that doesn't make them gay. Or a woman wearing pigtails doesn't make her childish. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff like that. Also, I'm not saying that if a child dresses grown, then they're grown either, because that's another topic for another day. So, I just noticed kids used to want to be grown a lot faster. And my mom was telling me, nah, trust me, you're going to want your hair to be in these nice long pigtails, because by the time you get older, everybody was burning up and heating up their hair and trying to be grown. When you get older, you're going to notice that people are doing the hairstyles that I'm doing in your hair right now with fake hair. Like, literally. And I was like, stop lying, Mom. You just want me to feel better. You just want me to, like, feel like whatever. And it's true. Like, there's literally, like, grown women, whether they have a lot of hair or not. I'm not saying shit. I'm not saying, like, they can't do what they want. I'm just saying, I know. She was right. She was right. Like, I'm seeing grown-ass hairstyles with fake hair that women used to make fun of, or like kids used to make fun of in high school and middle school, with the people that had nice long real hair, and then they turn around and do that shit with faux hair. And I'm like, so you couldn't take care of your own hair like that, or not bully somebody with like their natural hair? Like, it's only not childish if you do it. And so I just thought that was a pet peeve, like just feeling like you have to kind of have this bust down to be considered grown, or like your hair has to be silk pressed, or like you're not allowed to wear cute fun hairstyles and barrettes. Like, people are allowed to be creative, or like do what they want and be who they want, right? That's just really what the point is of that pet peeve. But I just always thought that was a little strange, but she was right as shit. Another pet peeve of mine is when somebody is obsessed with ops, or like they want you to pick a side. So like growing up, I always found myself in the middle of stuff. Like, I always felt like a Malcolm in the Middle sibling, like middle child. I was never like the baby, but I wasn't like the oldest. And God, I really am like a middle child, like in both sides of my like parents. Anyway, yeah, I had like a middle child complex where I kind of felt like a little tugged on either side, like, you know. I had like cousins and stuff and family members and stuff like that. Sometimes when we're younger, you know, you're playing games and you're just playing your family or just whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh, pick a side. Or like, oh, who do you want to hang out with? Or like, who do you want to play Barbies with? Or like, you know, stuff like that. And so as a kid, I used to just kind of want to be like, I love both of you. Or like my mom and dad even was like that. Like, who do you love more? Or like my mom really was more like that. Like, really just want to feel like she's loved more. Or like, you know, like it's one of those type of dynamics where you kind of always in the middle and you don't want to pick sides, or like basically you don't want nobody to feel left out, or like you don't want to feel like, wait, but I enjoy something from both, you know? So that is a pet peeve, when people just need you to pick a side, or like they're obsessed with like counting you out entirely if you just show interest in something other than what they're used to, or like you just didn't pick them, right? It's just so childish to me. Like, we're too grown to be worried about ops and all that stuff, because really you're probably your biggest enemy if you think like that. Like, you're literally drawing in like ops. Another pet peeve of mine is somebody that make a competition out of everything. Like, let's say you and your homeboy are playing a video game, and one dude has hella mods and the other dude is just like on stock mode, right? Y'all both probably have the same skill set, and he just has to let you know, my car's faster, or like I get more pitches than you, or like I have more money than you though, or like I make $1 more. Just petty stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
my God, who the
hell
cares?
Oh, Griffin. Or like women sometimes, where like they feel like they're better than you because they might have like more friends, or like a boyfriend, or like a husband, and it's like, that isn't making me feel any type of way, because I have like my own sense of self, and I like myself. I enjoy my company. I enjoy spending time with myself. I really do, and I would love to connect with someone in that manner. Like, You know, like I'm not turning it away. I'm just not pressed or like obsessed with that being my description or like being my worth for real. Like if I have a man or like if I have a Birkin or if I have my hair done and it's like, you know, I don't need that to feel good. Like it's great to enjoy what you have and have what you have in life, and if you have it, you have it. Amen, and bless you and show it off if you want to. But I'm talking about people that feel like they're above somebody just for those things, or like they're always trying to one up somebody, or like my ass is bigger, or like I'm this and you're that, and it's like that shit is just not cute. Like life is not a competition. It's not a race. Relax. Another pet peeve of mine is when I notice on the road, like in traffic, for example, there's just like obnoxious road rage or honking. Like, for example, I'm a pedestrian for the most part. Like, I don't really drive yet, and I'm not really that scared to drive. I just need glasses. Anyway, I'll be walking sometimes. I'm just like peeping stuff on the road, like as a bystander. And sometimes I can just tell that some people are just in an unnecessary rush on the road, or they're just in their own world, like in a vehicle now, endangering other people on the road. Like they're cutting fast or cutting cars, and like they're just moving too fast in a vehicle, like, or just you know, when people leave late to get to work and everybody else around them got to pay for that because they just didn't consider traffic, or like consider, my mom used to call it wiggle room, like leave yourself some wiggle room. Don't just do something straight up or like right on time, low key. Anyway, I'll notice like there's just cars that, or people that are just so angry with their life or with themselves. They just, there's a car in front of them and the light turned green, and then the car that's kind of taking 5 to 10 seconds instead of just going straight ahead. Maybe because they're doing something right quick, right? Or it's just like they're putting their phone down or putting their, so something that's not taking that long, but somebody behind them is honking as if they're waiting for a fucking eternity. Or like just, if I notice like somebody gets cut off in traffic, or like something almost happens for real that really is kind of scary, and maybe that person that wasn't paying attention didn't really mean to be not paying attention, okay? Like, nobody's perfect now. I just noticed that there's a car in the mix that's just honking for like a minute straight after the fact. Like, oh my God, get over it. Like, that type of shit be turning me off from driving, like, or when somebody has road rage and they're just like, they have to put their window down and you and all this, and it's like, or they follow you a little bit and they just lost their marbles and their tunnel vision and shit, and it's like, oh my God. Basically, the pet peeve is just people that drive crazy on the road and road rage. Like, just, now me as a pedestrian, I'm not perfect. I'm not always like following the rules like to a T. But damn, when people be getting in vehicles and just doing it willy-nilly or whatever, they're drinking or smoking, and they're just out there just acting like they're the only people on the road. I'm like, stop. I love to be a walker at that point. I really do. And it's good for you anyway. My last pet peeve is somebody that only listens to like one type of music. I don't care if it's metal, I don't care if it's rock, I don't care if it's pop, I don't care if it's rap, I don't care if it's indie, I don't care if it's hip hop, I don't care if it's country, I don't care if it's jazz, I don't care if it's anything. Why do you only listen to one type of music? why is your brain? To me, that translates to your brain is really narrow, or you're not branching out, or you're just maybe everybody's allowed to like what they like, right? Like, I'm not gonna say you're wrong for liking what you like. It's just a pet peeve of mine. Like, you go through somebody's music and it's only like radio music, or like only trap, or really, like, I don't mind like what genre it is if it's just one genre. Or when people like rock music and they make people feel like if they like rap, their music taste is trash, or like, you know what I'm saying? Basically, people don't leave room for music to be like art. It feels like a programming. Like, why do you want to be on one mode all the time? Like, what's wrong with you? You don't get bored? But those are the types of people are really like they are really well versed in what they like, though, which is cool, because you know what they say, if you're not 100% about something, you know, leaves room for like unfinished business and stuff like that. So that's just something I noticed. When I was younger, I did like a lot of like alternative music. So I kind of was like this before. Like, I used to be turned off from like too much rap, or like certain rap music that was just like really nasty sounding, like that bitch and like get money and I'm shady, I'm shiesty, I'm fucked up and this is okay and fuck her and leave her and all that shit is so unattractive to me. I used to feel like, ew, like I don't like music like that. I like more like if it's gonna be kind of raunchy or fun to listen to, not so hideous or heinous of an attitude, right? Or just toxicity, right? And that's where I used to be turned off from. But then I realized sometimes it's just music. So I would start listening to rap in like high school and in college. And I like some of it. Like, some of it's really creative, and then like some of the beats are really good, and then like some people aren't always on that time. Like, they just rap. So just rap. So I just had to get over stuff like that, and then over time I would just listen to anything. Like, I listen to damn mashups and whatever I feel like listening to. So now I consider myself like into all types of whatever. But yeah, those are some of my pet peeves. And I wanted to make them kind of like a little creative, because I feel like regular pet peeves, like like, you know, what people be talking about, we heard that before. Come up with something new.